Welcome back to Nerd Safari. I'm Simon.
I'm Ellie.
And if you enjoy this video, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell thing. That would be very kind of you indeed. And just when you thought it was safe to go back into the YouTubes, we've got one more video from D23 for now, unless they launch some more trailers. But there is a prequel movie for The Lion King. Now, obviously, The Lion King has had a couple of variants. It's already had sequels, and it goes back a long way. But we are both very, very familiar with the original, so super excited. We have not seen the trailer for Mufasa yet, but we are super excited to see it. While we do that, we would like to hear from you. Who is your favorite character from The Lion King, from any of the Lion Kings? Drop it into the comments below, and we will tell you ours at the end of the video. But for now, we're going to go check out this trailer for the very first time.
Let's go.
It's time. I'll tell you a story. A story of a cub, not much bigger than you.
So just to be clear, we're not in this story?
There's a lot of stories with all of us. Tell one of those.
Long before they became legends, Mufasa and the prince who would come to be known as Scar became brothers.
Hello, what's your name?
Mufasa.
I told you to wait for me. We can't just leave him here.
Rules are rules, Tucker. The king will never accept a stray. I'm not a stray. I'm just lost.
We do not associate with outsiders. Tucker is the future king. We must protect the bloodline.
But, Dad, I saved his life. I have a secret, Mufasa. I always wanted a brother.
I always wanted a brother. I always wanted a brother.
Sometimes I get a scent. It's barely a trace on the wind. And it smells like home. And then it's gone.
You and Tucker together. That is home. Now both of you go. Find
I hope it works out.
In the circle of life.
The circle is broken. There will be one Lion King.
Mufasa, run!
We must fight together. If we fight, we die. Just to be clear, I never signed up for this.
I'm here to protect you, my brother.
Mufasa! This was a bad idea! We're alive! I did it! I saved us!
You were saying?
So, we have now seen for the very first time the trailer for Mufasa, the prequel to The Lion King. What are your first impressions?
So my very first thought is how similar it is to that upcoming Transformers one.
Oh, really? You know, yeah, God, it's so funny. I was thinking I was going to talk about the parallels between Scar and Anakin Skywalker. And you know, is the Lion King universe ready for a story that is that bleak, that sees, you know, I guess Tucker turn into Scar? But you're right, I made exactly the same parallel with Transformers 1, that you had these two brothers on an adventure, one of them becomes Megatron. Gosh, that was very...
Even the dialogue with them kind of joking around and getting into scrapes together...
Wow.
Was very similar to that trailer.
Yes. How do you think this story, do you think it's going to gel with the original Lion King movie, like the original Lion King that everybody knows and loves? Do you think this movie will fit into that universe neatly?
I think it will, because Disney's really good at that kind of thing, of tying in those details. They're pretty good at continuity, so I think they will have put every effort into making it align. It's another kind of situation where prequels are interesting. The Lion King original animated movie did have a lot of sequels. A lot went straight to video. And I think there was even a TV series as well. I've seen a few of them when the kids were obsessed with The Lion King, so we tended to watch all the spin-offs. Yeah, I'm kind of a feeling... I don't know that this is a story that needed to be told. I kind of feel like we don't really need this, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be entertaining or worth watching. And it's an interesting story if you're looking at kind of where Mufasa came from. Like, does that explain why Pride Rock is run the way it is, and kind of his backstory and why he lets Scar hang around and all that kind of stuff? I think it could be interesting to explore.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. My feeling was actually more... I can understand why they want to tell this story of Mufasa and Scar's origin, and not least of all because Disney makes a bunch of money with every movie that they... I mean, there's clearly a billion people out there who throw their money at Disney every time they release a new movie like this. I mean, even where they've just taken animated movies and made live-action versions of them, I'm not saying that didn't take a lot of effort, but they made a lot of money off of every... So when people say, why did Disney keep doing this? Ka-ching! That's why. But I'm actually genuinely interested to hear Mufasa's, actually more Scar's backstory than I am. I mean, like, the good guy is always fine, but to understand why the bad guy became this twisted character, I'm much more interested in that. But yeah, I guess the debate's been had to death as well in terms of animation versus CGI. I thought the CGI in this looks night and day better than what I've seen from Disney previously. It looks, I'm always a sucker, actually, whenever we watch TV shows or movies. I always think that animals that are CGI are real, and you always have to educate me that they're just stupid CGI and that they look
stupid.
They look janky. Yes.
There's a bit of kind of uncanny valley with some of them, and like the way the fur moves in the wind and that kind of thing. But Disney's got all the money in the world to throw at this, and I think they took their criticism to heart that happened with the Lion King live action remake. That had a lot of hate. It does look like they've just chucked all the money in the world at making these lions look really real.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just compute power. You just pay a bunch of money, have a bunch of compute, it crunches out. And, I mean, obviously talented artists as well, but the more money and compute power you throw at problems like this, the more realistic things like fur end up looking. So yeah, I get it. The only thing that actually does feel weird to me is the more realistic the CGI looks, the more of a problem I have with human voices coming out of those animals. And that's not just this trailer, it's everything recently. Like, having realistic looking animals with very human voices coming out just creeps me out for some reason. But then again, we've mentioned that in previous videos and everyone screamed at me that I'm wrong, so that's fine. I may be in the minority there. So, back to the question, your favourite character from any Lion King movie, or like you said, there have been other mediums of the Lion King, so who would be your favourite, or top 3 if you had to pick them?
Zazu is my favourite.
Oh, I wondered if you were going to say Zazu. See, I really liked original Zazu, who was played by Rowan Atkinson. I love John Oliver as well. I found it a little weird having a different Zazu voice. But I didn't hate it, but I really enjoyed Rowan Atkinson's Zazu. I think for me, I loved Timon and Pumbaa. I really, it's great to sort of see them back again, even if it's just in like a narrator spot. But I really loved the comedy relief that they brought. But my favorite character from the original Lion King is, of course, Scar. And actually, that was one of my problems with this trailer, is there wasn't a lot of music. I mean, there was obviously kind of like an orchestral score swelling beneath the trailer. There didn't seem to be a lot of songs. I don't know whether I would have as much of a problem with animals singing in human voices as I would with animals talking, but I was expecting more music, and like more kind of upbeat, like poppy Disney music, and we didn't get that. So I'm intrigued to see if they're going to be like pulling out of the musical angle on this one. Who knows? But I loved Scar. One of the reasons I loved that character were the songs, like the Be Prepared song. And just so his portrayal of that character was fantastic, as was the music around that character. So for me, always put me down for the bad guy. I'll take that every time. Well, hey, thank you. Let us know who your favorite characters were and what you think of this Mufasa prequel. Are you excited? Are you angry? Would you rather it was animated? Let us know. Put it in the comments below. For now, that's all we got time for. And if you enjoyed this, like and subscribe, because I'm sure we'll be back very soon, friends, on the next Nerd Safari.
Peace out, nerds.